Thank you, Phoenix, for joining us today. Want to take this opportunity to welcome Phoenix Wong to the Breaking Show and sharing with us an amazing journey of a child who started in a swimming pool, had fun, really started doing really well, went all the way up to world championship levels, and through that journey found out what it means to go out there and put out your best, and all the things that it takes to kind of go out there and put out your best. So thank you for joining us today and sharing your journey with us. When you were born in where in China? Which city were you born in?
No, I was born in Hong Kong.
You were born in Hong Kong. Okay, so. And you grew up in Hong Kong?
Yeah, I grew up in Hong Kong until I was 18.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I moved to Australia.
When I speak to people in Hong Kong, their English is like great. Usually.
I guess because Hong Kong is a little bit special because it's like a mix of Chinese and also like Western.
Right.
Yeah, and I went to an English school, so it wasn't like that kind of big thing, but. Yeah.
Right. Oh, okay, interesting.
But my mother tongue is definitely like Cantonese, right?
Cantonese, right?
Yeah.
And from what I remember of Hong Kong, there was like Kowloon, and then Hong Kong like Island,
yeah,
right?
Hong Kong Island.
So where did you grow up? Did you grow up in like the suburban, like kind of Kowloon area, and
No, Hong Kong Island
on the island?
Yeah, on the island.
So it's like really like busy life.
Yeah. Like busy 24/7.
Things are moving.
Yeah.
A lot of activity.
It's like downtown here, I guess.
Well, I just remember Hong Kong just being so full of energy.
Yeah, more vibrant. I guess,
very, very vibrant.
Yeah.
I loved landing into Hong Kong. I mean, I always found it like interesting coming out through the mountains and everything, right? But this was like a long, long time ago that I used to kind of go there quite a bit for work.
Nice.
But when were you? When did you move to Australia?
When I was 18, so I go there for uni. Yeah.
Okay. So you grew up. You spent a lot of time in Hong Kong.
Yeah, pretty much like my first half of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at what point in time did you start getting into like swimming?
I swim since very young, like maybe 3 or 4 years old.
Okay.
Then I do a lot of other stuff like gymnastics, like ballet.
Okay.
Like ice skating, everything. But then like tennis. I actually played tennis for a couple years, but yeah, apparently my height doesn't work that out. So
I know about height. I wanted to be a basketball player, but I guess I don't have
Then
that.
my mom kind of like explored like synchro, and then she found my I may be good at it because I have all this foundation and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I know swimming and I know gymnastic. I play piano, so it was like a good mix of like skills what like a synchro swimmer needs. So then she put me on trial, and then like I got into the team. So then,
when you were going through that, like as far back as you can remember, was it something you enjoyed, or you found like, hey, I'm kind of just doing what everybody around me is doing, or what I'm being kind of like guided, or did you sort of say, Mom, I want to go do this, or I want to go do that?
I think it's more like the culture and also what my mom guided me to.
Yeah.
But I wasn't like really against it also. Like,
sure.
Yeah. But like, I guess in Asian countries, it's like you have to be good at a lot of stuff, right? It's not just academic, or it's not like whether you pick or choose either one.
Right.
Yeah, you have to be very like good in different things. So then like my mom just signed me up for like a lot of different classes. Yeah, but like
it's nice that you got like a variety though of different things.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And did you find like when you got in the water or got to gymnastics or what have you, like what did you at that time, even though you were following, what did you enjoy most about it?
I guess for my personality, I like to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I kind of like find myself stand out a little bit more in synchro is because I have all this foundation with like gymnastics and stuff.
Right.
So then I kind of like did pretty good in my first competition. Then my personality will feel like, oh, I'm kind of like better than the others.
Sure.
So then like I'm willing to put more efforts in it. Then it just kind of like go into it deeper.
Did you find like when you were learning, whether it's gymnastics or swimming or anything, that some of the things that you did just came easy for you naturally, or did you actually feel like I'm working hard, I want to win? Which one, like, or was it both?
Honestly, I think I was just okay with like swimming by itself, and then okay with gymnastic, okay with like ballet. It wasn't like very talented or anything like that.
Like you were kind of like with everybody else, kind of.
Yeah, but then when it comes to synchro, everything just get together. Then I find that I'm like a little bit better than the others. Yeah, I guess it's like, because for synchro it's like you have to have a lot of different skills. Like you have to be good at like rhythms, and you have to good into like your facial expressions. You have to like know how to face the camera or like face the judges and stuff. Like you have to be presentable.
Right.
And I guess everything then it adds up for me. Yeah. So then it just come naturally, and starting to invest more time. And then like my mom, she actually went into judging synchro. She learned that, and then like she was like an Olympic judge with the team Hong Kong. Yeah, so then like she put a lot of efforts in it too. Like she was a full-time mom, so then she invests a lot of efforts. So we kind of like go together in the same path.
That's amazing.
Yeah, then she would go to competitions with me, and then like she do all my makeup, and then she do my suits and stuff.
Right.
Then I feel like I have a lot of support from her, and also my dad as well. Like, but my mom was with me the whole time.
Right.
Yeah. Then it really makes a difference. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
On your journey, like earlier days, I always try to think about the early days because I feel like those are so foundational. Right. You talk about your mom being a judge, having somebody like that to give you perspective, right, versus any other perspectives. They're all good, but when somebody who's judging, kind of like, you really get great insights.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And what were maybe one of the things you might have learned from early days that was an insight that you got that you felt might have really given you that extra knowledge or that extra understanding of how to win?
I would say my mom is actually like a very big part of it.
Yeah. What was something specific that she might have said?
I guess like, because like from an athlete point of view or from like a coach point of view, sometimes you're very narrowed.
Okay. And like how?
Like, because from a judging point of view, like she may know like what the judges are looking for.
Right.
Like it wasn't sometimes it wasn't like about how difficult like your routine is or something like that. It's about like whether they want to watch it. Like, because a competition sometimes it lasts for a couple hours, and it's like there may be like 100 athletes in one competition, and then it's always the same music, and everyone is just doing the same thing. Then they just get bored, and then like they don't want to watch it, and she may just grade you very low.
Right.
Yeah, but then like if you kind of bring some like freshness for the judges, and then like she may putting more efforts in it. And because I remember one time in a competition they judged till like 1 a.m. or something. Yeah, and then she was like she don't even want to watch it.
And what time did they start?
Like in the morning.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because that competition is very big. So then there's like a lot of competitors and then like a lot of athletes, and then she just tell me that she don't even want to watch it.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I mean, they're human, right? You're gonna get. It starts looking very blurry.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it's not so much they don't want to do it.
Yeah,
it's just,
exactly. Yeah,
it's exhausting.
So then, like, I kind of like learn how to like be myself a little bit more. It wasn't like, because when you was like a kid, like you may not be artistic enough, or you just like, oh, you're very nervous and then you're very focused on your routine.
Right.
But then you have to know how to enjoy it, like how to be presentable, and like how to like really match with your music, how you're like trying to show your story out. Yeah, I think that part I may be doing a little bit better than other athletes in my age. Yeah,
because sometimes the margin for victory can be very small.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and that makes a difference between whether you go on to the next level or not. What were maybe one of the or two of the things that you did to kind of like differentiate? You talked about enjoying.
Yeah.
I think that's a really interesting thing. I mean, if your mom was there until 1 a.m., so might you have been there till 1 a.m., right? And so you were there from the morning. So what were some of the things you did? Now, how old were you this time? You're very young.
Like 13, 14 years old.
13, 14. So a 13, 14-year-old person, you're growing up at that time.
Yeah.
You have emotion, you have all these things going on with you, and you're expected to now enjoy this. A 13-year-old who doesn't want to do something just doesn't do it, right? So how does a 13-year-old then that you were, what were the things that you kind of kept in mind to say, okay, this is how I'm going to enjoy it? What did you do specifically?
I think for me it's like you have to understand the music first.
Okay.
I think that's the special about like synchro from the other sport.
Okay.
Like it wasn't just like swimming that is based on speed and then whether how great your technique is or like how strong you are, and you just train your strength and condition and stuff. Or like for other sport like synchro is still like a sport that does a lot of artistic components.
Okay.
And it's like dancing. Like you have to like do your routine like well enough to like make people want to watch it. I think that's the big part of it.
Okay.
And you have to be like we always have like a theme for it, like it's whether like a Harry Potter music or something like that, like or you're like doing like a dragon or like you're like resonating like a fish or something. Yeah.
Right. Oh.
Yeah. So then you have to like get into your role.
Right.
Like you have to be like an actor.
How did you do that? How did you do that?
I kind of like watch a lot of videos.
Okay.
Yeah, I watch a lot of like Olympic videos or like the World Championships or anything like that. I love watching that, and I watch a lot of like maybe figure skating, ballet or like musical. Like try to learn how to like get really into the music and how to like act like something out. Yeah, I think that's like a very important part of it, and I always like practice my facial my facial expression.
You practice
in
facial
front of the
expression.
mirror. Yeah.
Especially like smiling, for example.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because you're trying to do that while you're holding your breath.
Exactly.
And while you're trying to
struggling
do all of these things. So you get really great at kind of like masking any stress or masking any like struggle when you're doing what you're doing. Yeah,
we always said that like once you walk on the stage, then you have to be another person. Yeah. But then, like, okay, before the routine, like, before you walk onto the stage or, like, after that, like, it's, like, totally different.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then, like, once you walk on, once your music starts, then, like, you have to be, like, the role that you are playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm wondering about, right? Because, like, before the moment comes, how does a person switch? What do you do to switch?
So
you don't just actually tap on your finger, do you? Like you don't press a button on the side of your head.
Yeah.
How do you do it?
I guess like for me, it's just I really want to win.
Yeah.
And that really helps it. And like I would tell myself that like the judge doesn't want to see who I am, like the real like the like how do I say it, like. They want to see the side that I was on the stage. So then I have to be that person right now. Like, okay, now they call my name. So then I have to, like, they start judging me once I walk on it, right? Then I know it really affecting my result right now. Like, I'm now on the stage, then I have to be presentable. I have to, like, be that person they want to see it. Yeah, so like they always like make fun on that part as well because I really changed my facial expression like in one second. Yeah, but I guess like maybe that's what I'm good at it. Like because I do have teammates that they didn't do too well in that part. Yeah, they probably just get very nervous or they didn't practice it or so like. But I did role play a lot of time. Yeah, I role play at home and then like I role play before. Like before in the pool, like Pudak or something, I always role play that part. Yeah, I'm because I know this is what our sport is, right? Yeah, and there's like so many cameras around you, and yeah. Yeah, you gotta focus on so many different things, and that itself is a skill. You could know how to swim, you could know how to dance, gymnastic, you could know all this stuff. But you have all of these other things that are not even related to the water. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That are not even related to
to the choreography that are not even related to the music. So when somebody thinks of synchro, they just think, okay, it's water. Well, not just, but it's already quite difficult.
Yeah.
Not everybody does it, first of all. Like swimming, so many more people do swimming. But synchro is very niche, right?
Yeah.
And so it's complex. And even after that complexity, there's still all these other things that you got to keep in mind. Like you are being judged based on a smile, even not only in just technique.
Yeah.
But and you got to keep all of that stuff in mind. Was there ever a time, like when you were doing swimming, it was a simpler thing. When you're doing gymnastics, it's simpler. When doing piano, it's piano, right? Was there ever a time when you were looking at synchro and saying, "Sure, you like to win," but did you ever look at it and go, "Oh, this is too complicated"?
I mean, of course, there must be a time. Like,
do you remember?
But I guess for synchro, like a great coach is definitely like a very important part of it. Yeah.
Sure.
And yeah, I mentioned my mom. She was a judge, but then like she really invests a lot. So she kind of watched all these videos with me, and then she went to like coaching session too. Okay. So then she know how to coach me, and she we always like have a very close relationship. Okay. So then like when I was struggling, like I'm always very open to my mom, and I would talk to her, and she kind of like she always like mentor me kind of
course.
Yeah, in that part. And so then I kind of do a little bit better in that, like
what were some of the things you might have found yourself struggling with that you talked to her about?
I think for myself, like struggling with honestly with weight is actually the big part.
Really?
For synchro, because at the beginning when I was doing it, I was pretty chubby, and I know we cannot be chubby in synchro. Yeah, so then like I do gone through like maybe the hardest time, like the toughest time in my career was like weight control, which I believe a lot of like synchronized swimmer or like ballet dancer or like gymnastics like athletes, they go through it, especially for like female in that kind of age. They kind of go into like crisis about whether you're too chubby or like too slim, or like how do you like manage to get like a great balance between that. And
what did your mom say back about that?
Like she know that I have to be slim to like get into like a better shape, or like to fit into like what everyone thinks is great.
Right.
But then like she was also at the same time she's my mom, right? So then she see me struggling, and then she feel a lot of stress too on her side. And I kind of like, cause like from I know I'm pretty petite, but my lowest weight was like 35 kg, which is like only like 70 pounds or something, 75 pounds. Yeah, which is like very, very low. Yeah. And I was like, it wasn't like eating disorder kind of thing, but like pretty stressed out too with the weight part. But I think that is actually my biggest struggle instead of like other stuff in synchro, because I think I'll naturally a little bit better in the other things. Yeah, but the weight part is probably stressful, and also like create a lot of like pressure for like a teenage girl. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, as it is, I think going through that period of time in our lives, we start becoming more conscious about ourselves, about our appearance, about so many of these sort of things around us. That happens anyway. But then to have it even more under the spotlight as a performer, that's another level of stress that a lot of performers like that would have. And it's not really talked about very much, because you're just kind of like, hey, that's part of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Either you're in or you're out. Right?
Totally.
And you know what I wonder about people, like I love, that's one of the things that I really admire about you and people that are very competitive, is that there's this sort of like switch that they have, that, you know, right now I'm competing, and then right now I'm not. Do you know what I mean? And that's the switch. But when the competition switch turns on, there's the target, and everything kind of fades away, and they just focus in on that. When you're in this mode and you want to win, do you feel like there was that's a really good point that you brought up about weight, but was there ever a time that you went through a period where you're a competitor, you're doing well, you're winning a lot, you're good, you said that earlier, especially in the early days you realize, okay, you're good, but now when you get to the higher levels, the difference between the highest levels is very, very small. And you start meeting other people from other longer distances away.
Of course, yeah.
And they're really good.
Yeah.
And sometimes your winning streak, kind of, you're not winning.
Yeah.
Did you ever experience that where you're not winning as much as you're used to winning?
Of course, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
And
especially when I get older. I think for my peak level was in maybe 15 years old.
Okay.
And then when I grow older, because I didn't grow tall. Yeah, that's apparently the main thing. Like for synchro, like average, like when you're talking about like Olympian level, like average height must be like 170 above. Like yeah,
okay.
And because it's a sport that like requires a lot of like exposure out of the water, like so then if your legs are longer or like you're taller and you just looks nicer apparently. Yeah, so then like but when I was like younger and they haven't grown tall, so then it makes sense for me. But then when I stopped growing but they are still growing, then it's a big thing in my sport. Instead of like your strength, it wasn't like that. It comes to a lot of like how your your body figure is.
Right.
Yeah. Then, so I kind of like at that point I know that I'm not as great as the other.
And you're 15 at this time.
Yeah.
But by 15, you had already been to the Olympics.
Oh, I went to Asian Games and also World Championships.
How old were you when you went to the Asian Games?
17.
Okay,
I think 17. Yeah.
Okay. And when did you go to the Olympics?
I didn't go to the Olympics. Yeah. But it was like Asian
you were
Games.
on the Olympic, like you were training with them.
We have
players.
like a national team.
Okay.
Yeah. So for Team Hong Kong, we cannot go to the Olympic.
Okay.
Yeah. But so the highest level, like highest competition we can go to is Asian Games and also World Championships.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got a chance to go to these places, and I'll get back to that in a sec. But I wanted to ask a little bit more about this moment where a person who's used to being better than everybody in competition, especially a person who's driven by like not third or fourth or second, you want to be number one. And when you're used to being number one and now you're not number one anymore, tell me a little bit more about like when you started noticing that, what were the first thoughts that sort of came to you when you were trying to do your best, you're training hard, you're doing all the things you and your mom talked about, and you're still not winning? What were the first kind of like thoughts that came to mind?
So the first thought is definitely like, oh, then I cannot be like a full-time athlete. So then I cannot be like others. Okay, so not going to school and then like, be that like as your life career, like that's impossible for me. Yeah. So then like, but fortunately I never quit school. So then like I can easily like transit back to like a full-time student role, which is like what I'm very grateful nowadays, like because like chiro is my like profession now, right?
Sure.
So then like if you ever quit school, then it's like kind of like more difficult for you to like really get back to like a normal person life. Yeah, but I'm like very lucky I never quit school, and I didn't really transit to like a sports school too. So I went to a normal like a typical school.
Right.
But it's very difficult for me to like balance it that when I was an athlete. So then, but that part like really shaped what I am right now. Yeah.
So when you think about that time, right, and it didn't necessarily have to happen past your peak. Sometimes even on your way to peak, you go through a little dip.
Yeah.
Maybe you're just at a new level and you have to catch up, to that level, and then you do catch up.
Yeah.
So when that happened earlier, even before peak, you're not winning. And then did you ever go through a point where you were not winning and then you got back to winning again? You figured it out. Did that ever happen when you kind of went from one level to the next? Say you were first doing it in your, regional level, and then you went to another level, then you go to country level, right? And then national level. Just when you're first there at the beginning, you are not as good as everybody else there. You notice. What does a person who's so used to being the best sort of say to make themselves even better when they get to that other level? What did you do? What did you think about?
So back then, I was like, at the beginning, I was training in Hong Kong, right?
Okay.
So then, like, I actually start training in China.
Okay.
Which is like, maybe that's what you mean, like that's what you're asking, like.
Okay. There's a difference.
So I transited to like another coach.
Okay.
Yeah, cause like at the beginning I was with like this coach, and then I feel that I was like kind of like stopped it, plateauing. Yeah. Then I talked to my mom, and then like because she was a judge, so then she know a lot of people,
right? And
she has a lot of connections, so then she connected me to like a new coach,
right?
But then it requires me to fly to China. So that's the thing. Yeah, because I was a student, I was like an athlete that trained like 7 days, but then I have to go to China.
How old were you at this point?
Like same, like 14, 15 years
14.
old. Yeah,
so you have to leave home.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, but then like it was usually in like summer breaks or like Christmas, or like New Year, Easter breaks, or this like holiday.
Right.
Then when everyone is still like traveling with their families or like traveling with their friends or going like play dates or whatever, then I have to go to China.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
And you enjoyed it, or?
So that's the thing. It's actually very different when you train in China, because in China they're more like a full-time job for them.
Okay.
So then back home, I went to school in the morning and afternoon, right? And then I go to training at night.
Okay.
But then in China, you have to do it like since like morning to night. So it's like when the first time I go to China, it's actually like a cry for the first few days. Yeah. Because it's like I never trained for like 10 hours straight, like from morning to night, and then you have to stay there, you have to leave there, and then like everything was done in that kind of like training facilities. Yeah.
Did you ever feel like this is not what I want to do?
I guess back at that moment you won't be thinking about this kind of stuff. You'll be thinking about like how you survive for that for that 10 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you call your mom a lot?
Yeah, I call her, and then I just keep crying, and I said I don't want to do it, but then she would say like, oh, you don't have a choice, like you have to do it. Like, yeah. But like after the first time, then you feel better. Like for a second time, third time, so I kind of like go to China a lot.
You probably also met some other people that were going through the same thing as well.
Yeah. Also,
did you talk to some of the other players that were there? Or the athletes?
We kind of like talk. We have like a lot of crazy thoughts, like how we should like steal the passport, and then like how we're gonna leave this place, and
right?
Yeah, because it's like very different. Yeah,
right. You haven't yet experienced something like this before. So how did you then? What do you think helped you to adjust? That's really tough. Training 10 hours a day. I mean, come on, and then. It's another level, right? Most people can't even comprehend like the feeling that you have, how exhausted you are, how tired you are, right? And I always wonder, like, that's why I admire people who have that perseverance, who have the fortitude, the mental strength to say, look, I'm not enjoying this right now, but it's worth it in the end.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the part that I find is so amazing, is that we often come across times where right now it doesn't look like it's worth it. Right now it's not a lot of fun. And I try to be like, hey, listen, who doesn't want to have fun? Like enjoy your day, enjoy your life. Then I always wonder about like, how do you get yourself when you're not enjoying it to perform? Because you have to kind of enjoy it a little to perform. And then if you don't enjoy it, the motivation level can just really drop. So how do you keep your motivation level up and your performance level up when you're not enjoying it, to be able to get to that point? How do you summon it?
Honestly, I think like the personality really matters. Yeah, for my personality.
Yeah,
like,
for your personality.
Yeah, I do I do see success very, very big. So then like, and I'm willing to take that, like, because I want to be better. And even though I don't enjoy it, like, I know, like, just like what you said, I know it's worth it, and I can see that I do better during the days when I was like training so hard. And I can see a difference between like before going to those training camps and after the training camps. Then I'm okay with it. And I guess
what was the difference,
like
before and after?
Like before training 10 hours, like maybe I cannot do that because in synchro, like we do see a lot, like how high like you can be out of the water, and then like how long you can be in the water, like keep your breath for, like all these. And like training 10 hours a day will make like a very big difference, like no matter for your strength or just your technique wise.
Okay.
So then like and I guess I'm just more mature than the others at that kind of age. So then like I do like I will see that like I see it very I'll see like I wasn't like a very emotional person, like so I think it's worth it, then I would do it.
So you would just kind of rationalize it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I would just.
I think that's a good point that you make, because if we think about it rationally, it's like, if you do this, this
exactly.
will happen.
Yeah.
Versus the emotion of it, kind of can affect the judgment, can affect the motivation.
Yeah, exactly. Like I would tell myself that, okay, don't think about whether I enjoy it or not, like or whether it's fun or not. Like, I mean, athletes wasn't fun. Like this is like what you committed for, right? Like it wasn't like a play date or something. It wasn't like a fun class. Like if you want to be like where you are, then you have to put your efforts in, right? Like so then I guess I kind of know that since I was very young, like, and I remember, I think my mom also asked me about it, like whether you want to like really be competitive or just be recreational. Like, I mean, you can choose, right? Like you can just be like a recreational like swimmer, and like even for artistic swim, for synchro, we do have like recreational classes. Like then you can pick like whether you want to like be very competitive. Then if you choose to be competitive, then this is what you sign up for, right? Yeah. So then like I think like the personality part really matters. And I know that's what I'm signed up for, so I cannot complain about it.
Well, you can complain, and then you just got to keep going, right? I mean, you did complain. You said you called your mom, and I don't want to do this. And then you get it out of your system, and then you keep going. Keep one foot in front of the other, as they say. So when you got to these points, when you started developing and you started going, okay, now I got even better, right? So then you now have confirmation, right? That, look, I went through that struggle. And it was worth it because I got to the goal. You're obviously talented, you're fortunate, you got to the goal. Some people, they train and they don't get to the goal. You got to the goal. So did you get to the goal like right away on the first try, or did you find that, hey, I'm not getting there sometimes?
I would say I'm very fortunate, like that I got. But the first time, like, okay, that's a lot of up and down. I do actually like have a few chances to go to World Championships when I was younger. But then like the first time is in, I think, 2011. But I wasn't. So they have like a minimum age requirement for 14 years old to get into World Championship. But I think I was like 13 years old, something like that.
So you didn't qualify.
So I missed for the first time. I didn't qualify for the first time because of my age. But my coach wanted to pick me, but then like because of my age, so then they have
you
to
were
pick
13
someone.
and you thought you had a chance to go. But then you find out later you're not going.
So like we have like a selection trial. Then my coach picked at me, but then they find out that I wasn't 14 yet. So then they have to pick another, like someone else.
How did that feel?
So,
but that's just age. You know it's going to come.
That was an age thing. But then but I missed the first time. Therefore, I think the second time.
I love how you call it the first time, even though you weren't actually supposed to go anyway. Keep going. That's cool.
Then for the second time is, I think I was like I wasn't in my best shape. Yeah, 2 years later.
Okay.
So I was 15.
So now you qualified.
Yeah, I'm qualified, but then they didn't pick me because we didn't go for like a team event. They only go for like a duet.
Okay.
So then they only pick 2%, and I think I was the third or something.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Right.
So I missed that again.
Oh.
Yeah. So then that's
and
why.
And then like. You know, you say now looking back that you weren't in your best shape.
Yeah.
But you were trying to get on the team.
Yeah.
And that's, tell me, like, you know, when you didn't get to your goal, even after all of your training, did you ever say to yourself, look, it's not worth it? Or how did you then keep yourself going?
I think at that point I was like pretty disappointed, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah, at the end being selected. But I remember back then I was still thinking about I'm still pretty young as a 15 years old, so then I can still try for the next time. And
when you got the news that you weren't going though, like now when you look back on it was so long ago, right?
Yeah.
You know, like right now when you look back, a month could be like a second right now when you think about it. But in those first hours or those first days where you find out you're not going, really, you know, you're still one of the best. You're still one of the best, but you feel like you're worthless. Like you feel like like it's a failure that you didn't make your target, because it's all or nothing. Like you're either on the team or you're not on the team.
Exactly.
You're going or you're not going.
Yeah.
There's no good try, you know. But you feel that way. Like all of that effort was wasted. And that, like you said, it's very disappointing. So when you're disappointed, try to think back. How does disappointment turn around? How do you go from that to, okay, get back in the water again, train again? Because the road is a long road to get to the. How often does this happen? Every 3 years, 2 years?
2 years.
Every 2 years. So now you got another 2 years of training, and you got to start all over again. So. Like I'd love to understand this part. When you go from this disappointment, like you missed the target, you're out. You trained your hardest. How much more can you give, right? So you start maybe wondering, right? Like, do I want to go through this again?
I guess like like what I mentioned, I was very close with my mom, so like she's always like a very, very good guidance to me, and she kind of like she know that I don't want to give up, so then she will like tell me to, okay, you just have to calm down your emotions, like you can try again. Like it wasn't like the end of the world, like but
it does feel like the end of the world.
Yeah, it does feel the end of the world back then, but like I also know that like I'm still young, like I also know that like I still have a second like a chance like in the future, and it happens every 2 years, so then it wasn't like a very long time, and so it wasn't that hard for me to pick up myself again. And I guess when you're so busy, like because we train 7 days, so then you don't have time to think about it because you still have to go to training tonight. Like it's still your routine, right?
Okay.
So then I always tell myself that I can be sad for a couple hours, but then I have to pick myself up again. Like it's either that you want to quit it, like you if you choose to quit it, then just quit it. Like I won't really like get into that kind of like sad emotion for like couple weeks or something. It's like wasting your time. Like if you want to try for your second time, then like you have to start preparing it. Like you have to be better, right? Like then if you get into like so disappointed or like so discouraged, then you're actually just wasting your time to be better. Yeah, that's what I always tell myself. Yeah. So I know that like maybe the next time I will be selected, I know how like what's my standard is, right? Yeah. And maybe I didn't try my best this time, or like I just didn't do as great. Yeah. So then like then fortunately like my third chance I get into the team.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So then like I do see like I put a lot of efforts in it and it's worth it. So
what was the difference, would you say, between the time that you made it and the time that you didn't? Did you approach the training the same way that you did, or did you change something?
That's the time frame that I start going to China.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that's what you changed.
Yeah, that's what I changed to a like kind of like a new coach, and also like it also changed a lot of like my perspectives towards synchro too, because the other coach is more encouraging. Okay. Like the new coach is more encouraging, and she kind of like we also spend a lot of time together outside of training, because the first like my original coach, I only see her doing those training sessions.
Got it.
And we wasn't close. Like it is very like coach and athlete relationship.
Right.
But for the new coach, like we also spend a lot of time like outside of training, and like chit chatting, and then like having dinner or something.
Right.
And that also like changed my perspective towards her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't like very afraid of her, and we kind of like, and I started being more mature, of course, and then I was like more maybe like willing to like explore myself a little bit more. So
you kind of, because of that type of relationship and that dynamic changing, you were able to tap into a bit more of your power, your skill.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and more, and you got better as a result of that, you feel.
Yeah, I would say that too. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm curious now. You know when you're about to find out whether you made it or not. When they come out and they announce it. Okay, so the time that you made it, okay, you already have this memory that I didn't make it the other two times. You call it 2 times, right?
Yeah.
So the third time now, before you got announced, right? The decision is coming now. Was there ever, you had prepared, you trained with a different coach, you're better now. Was there, I'm just curious, was there a fear inside of your mind that I might still not make it?
Of course, like there's
I don't
no
know,
guarantee,
like some people
right?
just have it locked. That, oh no, I'm in. But because you haven't had it before, did that come back to mind? And when that fear shows up, sometimes it can really put doubt, and then doubt can have a negative effect. So you're facing the doubt still. And so even in the face of the doubt or the fear, how did you then kind of like overcome that before you heard the news that you were on? Yeah,
I would say that like I'm a person that like I'm pretty self-confident, but at the same time like of course I will have self-doubts too, but I kind of know that I already tried my very best. Then okay, it's like up to them, right? Like it's not about like whether I want to or I don't want to, like, so then you just have to put everything in. Like I have no regrets on myself. Then I already tried my very best. If they didn't want me, then okay, I'm maybe not like suitable for them, right? Yeah, but I already like give in everything. Then as long as you don't have like as long as I wasn't regretting, then it's okay. Yeah, that's what I see it. Yeah.
So then the announcement comes, and now you're on the team, and all of your, how many years of training? Must have been like almost 10 years of training.
Almost, yeah.
When you first started training to the time that you made the team, whether it's the Asian Games or the World Championship, was that something that you dreamt about like when you were young, to see these people that were making it? Did you see yourself like one day being that, or did you just want to be the best in the pool? Like when you look back.
I guess it wasn't like my dream since like young, but it's always what I look up to. And when that opportunity comes, like especially the Asian Games, because we are making it like a history. Like before, like Team Hong Kong never been to Asian Games for like a team event in synchronized swimming. Right. So we are the first time. So then it's definitely like a big part of it. Like we're very lucky to be that person, and I'm very lucky to be one of them. But then like it's like a world stage, so of course it's like Pan Am Games here, so then it's also like a very big thing. So I guess it's like a very good, like, how do you say that? Like a report card of like what I have been.
Well, yeah, like you put in all this effort,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And you have now something to say, look, I got there, I made it. And when you got on the team, you went and you did your performance. Afterwards, did you feel like, okay, so did you ask yourself, so like, now what's next? How did you keep your motivation level to keep training, to keep getting better? What was that like?
So like, so that's a very good question. Like, I was like 17 when I made to Asian Games, and like 17 and a half or like 18 years old when I made to World Championships. So then I know that like I have to pick when it comes to that kind of age, whether I want to go into university or if I still want to continue my career. So then like I did get into like a struggling period of time like after that 2 competitions, because it's like if I want to keep doing it, I have to stay in Hong Kong. And because because in synchro it wasn't like other sport that you can train overseas and then come back to represent your countries. Yeah, it wasn't like that. Yeah, because we have to train together, right?
Right.
So I do have a lot of like friends that they do other sport like swimming or like track and field or something like that. They can go to US and then study there and then like be a student athletes there. But then like when there's like a competition, they can go back to Hong Kong and they represent it. But then for synchro, you have to pick. Like if I want to keep doing it, then I have to stay in Hong Kong. Yeah. Okay. And like maybe attend to university in Hong Kong and then like try to balance it again, or I have to quit it and then just focus in study and then like start a new life again. Yeah, so then like
you say start a new life, you're only 17. You're just starting like life anyway, but you've already lived one life of an athlete up to that point. It's a full life.
Yeah, I kind of see it that way, I guess. Yeah. So
amazing.
Yeah, I kind of get into like a struggling, because if I want to balance like school and my athletic career, I kind of like have very limited choice in what I want to study in university, and that links to your career planning, right? Like I know like nowadays like you can do whatever jobs, like it doesn't have to be related to your degree, right?
Right.
But back then, like my mind is pretty narrow. Like what I study is like what I have to work to be, right? So, I kind of like talk to my mom again, talk to my dad, and kind of like brainstorm what I want to be in the future. Honestly, I don't have like a dream job since young, and I don't know what I want to be. Like I don't really have a mind about that, And then it's my mom tell me that, oh, maybe work in the healthcare is great. Like in the future, it's all about like AI and it's all about like robots, right? And then she tell me that like maybe that's like a field that won't be replaced by technology. So then I was like, oh, then I cannot balance my sport career. Like it's impossible to do like healthcare like kind of subjects at the same time of studying, because it's like both are very heavy loaded, right? Were
you choosing now to move into that sort of academic or non-athlete life, non-athletic career, because you had already accomplished as much as you could accomplish here? Were you finding out now you can't go any further here? Is that what's so you find out you can't go any further? Right.
Honestly, I would say so. Yeah.
Right. Because you talked about like some sort of limitations, height, exactly, whatever that they had.
Yeah.
And so this is when you had found this out, right? At that age, at around 17.
I would say so. Yeah. The height, and also I know that like we cannot go to Olympics.
Okay.
Yeah. So then like for Asian Games and World Championship is already like the highest we can achieve.
Right.
Yeah. At that point, and like even now. So then like I do ask myself that if I keep doing it for 4 more years during the university days, like the possibility is I can go to Asian Games 1 more time, and then like World Championship maybe two more times.
Right.
Yeah, does it worth it?
But you've been there, done that.
Exactly. Like either going once or twice or like 10 times, does it really matters? That's also like a very big question that I do ask myself. Or I should like pick like academic and like start over or whatever, like yeah, because I already go through it, like I already been there. And so at the end I do pick like academic. I do pick like I may want to try something new and like start a like a new life, what I call it. Yeah. So that's what I make the decision that I quit synchro like after I went to world championships and one other competitions. Then I quit synchro, then I went to Australia, and then like kind of like went to a country that like I know no one there, and then and then pick to like become like a normal student, like full-time students. And then like, but like very luckily, like what I'm doing right now is also like resonating back to my sports background. So then like that's what I like about it. Yeah.
Well, when there are so many young athletes now going through their programs, you're now here in Canada for a number of years. You work with Canadian athletes. You work with athletes from China, right? You're in touch with both.
Yeah.
What would you say, right, to somebody who is deciding between doing something for recreation or doing something for competition?
I would say like it depends on your age too. Like when we were a kid, then you maybe find it very fun to go into competition. But when you're like slightly older, I think like it also depends like what you see is more important, right? I would say just based on my experience, I would say that like you have to know that like becoming competitive athletes, you have to give up a lot of things. Like for myself, I would say that I totally give up my social life back then. Like a lot of people, they maybe like hang out with their classmates, hang out with their schoolmates, hang out with their buddies or whatever after school. But then if you pick competitive athletes, then you won't be able to do that, and you may not having like a strong relationship with anyone. Because honestly, with like athletes, like your teammates, they are also your competitors. Yeah, that's actually a big part that you have to consider about. Like synchro is a team sport, but at the same time, like you have to compete against each other to be on that spot, right? And we also have like solo duet events, so that we have to compete against each other, but at the same time you have to work the team events,
right?
So then it's actually very contradictory. Yeah, but I mean, it is what it is. Like you have to be like prepared for that part. And like honestly, I didn't really like connected with them afterwards, like because like like you have to know that like you guys are teammates, but at the same time like maybe you are being picked and she won't be able to be picked. Right. So that's the thing. Like so that's like a deep part of like how your decision will end up too. So and you have to know that whether you really want it, because it's also a lot of up and down, like whether maybe today you do better and then tomorrow you didn't do as well. How do you cope with that? And also like coping with injuries maybe. It's also like a big part of it. I do have like concussions and like also like multiple like big injuries back then, that like I went into hospital and then like full of blood or whatever. So then like you have to like be prepared of that kind of things. But I mean, accidents happens, and it's very different when you're like a competition level and also like a recreational level. So just managing the expectations.
It's funny, I thought I was competitive until I meet you. I'm actually not competitive now. I realize I'm more of a recreational kind of a person. I like having a good time, enjoying it. I love the social aspect of it. I just got a couple of questions for you, but like first one is really, when somebody does go the competitive route. Okay, let's just say now they've decided.
Okay.
And they have these doubts. They have injuries, right? Maybe more than they expected, right? Even if you like when you start and you're 4 and you're 6 or you're 10, you don't say, hey, let me be prepared in case I have injuries. You just keep training, and then you get injured, and you're like, oh, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
So there's always something you didn't see coming. So when somebody runs into something that they didn't see coming, it blindsides you. Like it's a shock. You're not prepared. It wasn't in your expectation. You could get injured just before one of the biggest competitions. And now you're sitting out of a competition, and that then you miss a whole bunch of other opportunities, because of that. So when you don't see something coming, what would you say to some of these competitors when something they didn't see coming happens and like blindsides you? What would you say to them? What advice would you give?
I would say things happens, and like your attitude and how you see it is very important. Like if you as an example, like injuries, like now I'm like a health practitioner. Like I will always tell my kids, like my athletes, that like you can hide it. Like I know like they're a kid and they don't see the importance of it, like, but you have to tell your mom, you have to tell your coach, like you have to make sure that you are getting treatments, and then like because like if you don't treat it, and then it can lead to a lot of other future issues. Like you have to change that mindset. Like sometimes for kids in that kind of age, they will say, oh, maybe I just need rest. And they're very afraid that, oh, maybe telling the coach I will get pulled out of the team.
Right.
Like that kind of thoughts are actually very unnecessary. Like you have to get treated to be your best again, right? But sometimes they are just get into like that kind of like stuck into that kind of mindsets. And yeah, I always said that like to my athletes now, that like once you know an issue earlier, then we can help you, and then we can fix it, and then we can make you stronger. But if you mask it and then you just hide it because you're afraid, then it will lead to more issues happening. Yeah, so it depends like how, like who are you talking to, right? Yeah, and sometimes like injuries happens, like we're all human beings and we got injured, and we just have to face it, and then like always saying like a positive mindset to win it. Yeah, I mean like even NBA athletes, they injured, right? They tore their tendon, yeah, and they can go back to the sports field like being better. So like we are all here to help. So then like it's not that difficult. Yeah.
It's something you can say now.
Yeah.
But when you were there at that time, it's a real fear, right? If you tell somebody, I've got this whatever issue, it doesn't even have to be a physical issue. It could be like a thought. And if you show that, you could be seen as weak. And if you get seen as weak, that could affect a person's decision to choose you or not. So the fear is actually very justified.
Yeah.
It's very understandable.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
And that's why they don't say it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
but you're advising that they still should come out and say, hey, this is something that I'm facing, that I'm dealing with, that they should not do it alone.
That's why like what we call is like the mental health part is actually very important nowadays for even youth athletes. Like we do have a lot of support nowadays, especially in Canada. Like we have a lot of different programs, like whether counseling or like social workers, or like even just coaches themselves. They have to like they always have a lot of seminars about that kind of things, that they should be how they approach the athletes, and how like remember I mentioned that my second coach, I do have like a very different relationship with her.
Yes.
It's also because that she make me feel comfortable to talk to her when it comes to a lot of like difficulties. Unlike my first coach, like she is, I guess, is more straight, and yeah, we have a lot of distance, and
you didn't feel you had that safety.
To definitely
be able to say that. So that was my other question, was that either because of the coach or because of the personality, sometimes we can drive ourselves to the point where it's actually not good.
Yeah.
Right? It's actually not good. We're not getting the best performance, really. Right? We do that. But we don't know in that time that we're actually not doing this the right way.
Yeah.
And that's why then it creeps up into becoming a crisis or becoming an issue. And it's a big problem actually now, especially with mental health, even physical health.
Yeah.
Now, people just go too far, right? But then how do you know you've gone too far if you don't try? You know, how do you know what your limit is?
Yeah.
And as that's one thing that I always wonder about, like, I want to go as far as I can go. I want to go as far as I can go. But the concern is, how do you know when that limit is? When you push too far, then it's not healthy for you anymore. What's your solution to that? What's your thought now that you've been an athlete, you've been successful, you're also a caregiver to athletes. You're doing a great job taking care of them. So you've seen all the different sides, you know. How does a person know when it's too much?
Honestly, based on my personal experience, is like when you reach a point that you don't want to do it, and like as an example is like when you have to train 7 days and then like one day the coach is sick, then you feel like a lot of happiness. Then it's the point that like you are doing it too much, because you shouldn't be thinking that way. Like you should be like thinking, oh, how is she like, and like instead of like, oh yay, I don't have to train today. Yeah, that's like a point that like is too much for you. Like everyone need a break. So that's why now when I see my athletes when they're training so much, like I do have like a figure skater. She train like 4 sessions every day and in weekends, and every time when she come to my clinic she's like so tired, and she have all this kind of pains when she's only like 11 years old. And like I do talk to her mom like very directly, and she need a break. She shouldn't be training 7 days and like 4 or 5 sessions every day. Like that's too much for her age. And
but you feel like I can do this. I'm strong here. Do you know what I mean? Right?
Yeah.
But you're saying it's too far. You yourself said when you were moving to China for the first time, you didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
So you also hit that point also.
Yeah.
But you kept going, and look, you got higher. Right? So you have evidence to show you that if you push through, you will find a new limit. You get my point?
Yeah.
That's what I'm wondering about, is like, I'm so fascinated that sometimes you can push and you make the new limit. Sometimes you push and you're getting hurt now. Or maybe you hurt someone else. Like, like both can happen. It's hard to tell where that line is. I mean, that's what I see. I find it very, I'd love to have a clear answer. Is there a clear answer, do you think?
I don't think so. Like it really depends on that person. Like everyone has different mental capacity, right? Like everyone is like capable for different things, and I guess it's just have to be very personalized. Like talk to your coach, talk to your parents, and maybe talk to your teammates. Like even between your teams, same age, like everyone is different. Everyone can handle different things. Yeah, I would say like maybe we also have to like, how do you say that, like put yourself a little bit higher, like really like know how you're feeling that moment. Like if you're not like capable to do it, then just tell yourself to slow down, maybe grab some water, or like take a break, or like just walk out from the pool for like 15 minutes, like calm down, and then like put yourself, like your own emotions, your own thoughts a little bit higher than the other things. Yeah, like of course. And
you're a person who says that they weren't too emotional.
Yeah, of course I'm like looking back, but like I do see that it's necessary, honestly. Yeah, because like everyone like handle things differently. I would say like you have to know what you're like capable for.
Yeah, because if somebody starts crashing, it can go like fast.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it's hard to kind of come back from that.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you about so many more things, but like I feel like there's another another episode on the transition from, you know, a high performing athlete to that next sort of life, if you will. So I'd love to have you come back again on another day and talk a little bit more on that. I just want to leave with one last sort of question or thought, is that a lot of your experience as an athlete is very applicable to a lot of people in terms of showing up with the best version of yourself, right? No matter what you do, you realize that there's so much more that you're capable of. Like you talk about as an athlete between recreation and competition, right? And you see how much more people are capable of when we see them do things. And nowadays, you might notice that people kind of sometimes like, I don't know what to do, or I'm not enjoying what I'm doing, right? And do you feel that sometimes there's something to be said about people showing up more in what they do? I went bowling with you. I'll give you an example. We just went bowling, with a whole group of people, and some people just throw the ball. Do you know what I mean? And then some people are like, listen, there are 10 pins over there. You could get a strike. And I see you when you're bowling. You're not a professional bowler. But when you go out there, you're always showing up with the most that you could do so that you could give the most. You can do your best, right? And you don't just save it for synchro, or you don't just save it for physio or chiro. You do it in everything, right? What would you say to people about, you know, showing up with your best version of yourself constantly?
I would say like I'm a person that I would try my very best in everything. Like although I'm not good at it, just like bowling, like I want to be better. Like I know it's also like a learning progress, right? Like a learning process. Like when I was like having like networking events or like having fun with the others, like there's always things to learn, like in whatever whatever aspects. Like so I would say like I'm very open-minded on everything I want to try, and if I do well, then that's great. But if I didn't do well, then I can do better next time. Yeah, that's always my attitudes about it. Yeah, and it also like depends like how you see things. Like there's no failure on anything. Like if you, because you wasn't like a professional in everything, so no one would judge you if you didn't do as great. Like if I didn't get it straight, then what happens? Like no one gonna judge me.
Right.
Yeah. But if I try, then I may get it. Like so that's what I see things. Yeah. Even in school or even in daily life or in my career, or just try your very best. Then if you didn't do well, then try again. Like it wasn't like a big deal. Yeah.
What's the point of doing something if you're not going to try your best? What do you think?
I would say that then I was just like giving up learning opportunities. If I didn't even try it, then how do I know whether I can do it or not? Or like I can get some feedbacks from the others, then I can also like learn from them, because like it's also up to you whether you want to learn, right? And I would say like if you didn't try it, then you are just like you didn't know where you can go to. Yeah.
Phoenix, thank you so much. I really appreciate the time that you've taken.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Yeah.
To come and join us today.